Ever walk down the street and like wonder how they make that, you
Yeah.
know? Like
Yeah.
a fire hydrant or even those manhole covers.
Yeah.
But you don't think about molten metal being poured, huh?
Right.
But that, my friend, that's the world of a casting machine operator. And that's what we're diving deep into today.
It's one of those jobs that doesn't always get a lot of attention,
Right.
but it's the foundation for so much of what we see and use every day.
Absolutely. And you know what? You're clearly not just here for the molten metal show.
Yeah.
You brought some seriously intriguing career resources with you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get right to it. What does a casting machine operator actually do?
Okay, so picture this. You're on the job, surrounded by machinery, and it is loud.
Oh, I bet.
The air is thick with heat.
Yeah.
And you're not just pouring molten metal.
Right.
You are controlling its every flow, right? You're manipulating it with crazy precision to fill these intricate molds.
Whoa.
It's like a high-stakes dance between, like, human skill and this raw elemental force, you know?
Okay, that sounds way more captivating than I imagined. But there's got to be more to it than just the pouring. What kind of technical stuff are we talking about?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's not just about having a steady hand.
Right.
You need a deep understanding of the materials themselves.
Makes sense.
Like how different metals behave at crazy high temperatures, right? How cooling rates affect their strength and their integrity. One wrong calculation,
Oh, no.
one misjudged pour, and you risk a critical flaw in the final product.
So there's a real weight of responsibility there. It's not just about making something. It's making sure it's right.
Exactly. This isn't some mindless task. This career demands problem-solving skills. You have to think on your feet. You have to adapt to unexpected challenges, right?
Right.
And this career resource you've got here uses terms like noisy, hot, and potentially hazardous, and it's not sugarcoating it. But those demands, those are exactly why skilled casting machine operators are in such high demand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's not a job for everyone, and that creates a real opportunity. But let's say you're not afraid of a little heat, and you like the idea of turning molten metal into something real and tangible.
Mm-hmm.
What does a career path in this field actually look like? Is it just like pouring bigger and bigger things as you go?
That's where it gets interesting. This isn't a dead-end job. This career resource you've got, it highlights a structured path for advancement, with each stage building on the last.
So you're not just coasting once you've got the pouring down, huh?
Yeah.
So tell me more about this career ladder.
Oh, absolutely not. No way. Think of it like this. At the entry level, you're learning the ropes, right?
Okay.
Mastering those fundamentals of the casting process, understanding how to operate all that machinery safely and effectively.
Right.
But as you move up, you become a junior operator. You start to get more independence, right?
Okay.
You're troubleshooting those minor issues that pop up, maybe even assisting with mold prep and stuff.
So you're not just following instructions anymore. You're starting to like think on your feet a bit more.
Exactly. And as you get more and more experience, as you build that expertise, you might even find yourself, specializing in a particular casting method.
Oh, interesting.
Like you've got die casting, where molten metal is injected into steel molds. Or there's investment casting, which is known for creating some really, really intricate parts.
Wow. So there's room for like real craftsmanship, even with these advanced manufacturing processes.
Oh, absolutely. Each method has its own, quirks and challenges,
Yeah.
And mastering those, that's what makes you a true artisan of the foundry. You might even become a senior operator one day, where you're responsible for, overseeing entire production runs,
Oh.
ensuring quality control, even training new recruits.
Wow. From novice to mentor.
Yeah.
That's quite the journey. But let's say someone is ready to take that first step, get their foot in the door of the foundry, so to speak.
Right.
Our career resource mentioned some interview tips. What kind of questions should they be prepared for?
Well, don't be surprised if they ask, how did you become interested in this field?
Makes sense. Seems like a pretty standard question.
Yeah, it might seem simple, but it's your chance to really showcase your passion.
Yeah, like you said earlier, this isn't just a job. It's
Right.
about having a feel for it, a respect for the process.
Exactly. Now, they might also dig a little deeper into your, technical knowledge. Imagine they ask, how would you troubleshoot a misaligned mold?
Oh, okay.
That's where your understanding of the machinery, the properties of the metal, and your problem-solving skills, it all comes together.
So they want someone who can, think critically under pressure.
Yes.
Not just someone who can, follow a manual, but someone who can improvise when things get a little heated.
You hit the nail on the head. They want to know that you can handle the unexpected, that you're eager to learn, that you're ready to grow. And that's something you can definitely convey in your answers, even if you don't have decades of experience under your belt.
So how can someone prepare for that kind of scrutiny, especially if they don't have a ton of hands-on Foundry experience yet?
Well, that's where that online resource you've been sharing, that can be incredibly valuable. It's got all those sample interview questions and answers.
Nice.
It gives you a framework for how to structure your responses.
That's awesome. It's like a virtual mentor in your pocket or something.
Right.
But even beyond that interview, like what's the big picture?
Okay.
We talk about robots, automation, all that.
Uh-huh.
Is this a job that'll even be around in a few years? With everything changing so fast.
That is the million-dollar question these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we hear it all the time, manufacturing jobs lost to automation. But this field, this one's different, you know?
Oh,
It needs that human touch, that human intuition, combined with technological know-how.
so it's not just about muscle anymore.
No way. Know-how. Someone's got to program those robots, right? Someone's got to make sure those sensors are calibrated, fine-tune all the parameters of the casting process. Robots can't tell if a mold's a hair off or if the metal's not flowing just right.
Yeah, it's like they say, takes a human to build the robot.
Exactly.
And it sounds like it takes a human to make sure that robot's doing its job right,
Yeah.
especially with something as potentially dangerous as molten metal.
100%. This whole career path, it's a perfect example of how technology changes things.
Yeah.
It's reshaping those traditional crafts, but it's not replacing them entirely.
Right. It's like a partnership almost.
Yeah, exactly. And that ties into a much bigger conversation we're having these days, right? About the future of work.
Oh, absolutely.
The need for skills that can adapt for people who are always learning.
So it's not enough to just, like, know how to work a machine today. You got to be ready for whatever's next.
You got it. The best casting machine operators, the ones who really succeed, they embrace innovation. They're always looking for a better way to do things, refine the process, make it more efficient, and just push the boundaries of what's possible.
So they're almost like part scientist, part artist, part problem solver, all in one.
Now you're getting it. And that's what makes this whole career path so cool, you know? It's tradition and technology, creativity and precision, human ingenuity meets raw, elemental power, all in one package.
It really makes you think differently about all those things we just take for granted every day. There's a whole hidden world behind them, all that skill, all that expertise.
That's right. And that hidden world, it's full of possibilities for folks who want to dive in.
And on that note, we'll leave our listeners with a final thought. If you're hearing this and something's clicking, if you're even a little intrigued by this whole world of molten metal, maybe it's time to see where this fiery career path could take you. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time.